Hello, stamping friends. Welcome to my Stampin' Piece studio. I'm Mary Knabe in Columbus, Ohio. Today, I'm going to show you how to make 6 quick and easy cards, or as I'm going to call them, easy and elegant cards made with the Lovely Garden Designer Series paper. And this is a set of 6 cards. All 6 will be pretty much the same. But they make a nice set that you could use as a gift for teachers, coworkers, perhaps a hostess gift, anything you like. Or it's a quick way for you to make up a set of cards when you need extras on hand or you need to put several to use right away. So let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut this beautiful piece of Lovely Garden Designer Series paper. This is a 12 by 12 sheet. I'm going to start by cutting it in half. So I turned it once to the left, and I'm cutting it 6 inches, cutting in half. Then I'm going to stack those 2 pieces. I feel very comfortable being able to cut 2 layers of Designer Series paper using the Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, I can't say for sure that your trimmer will do a good job cutting the 2 layers at once. So you may want to cut them individually. Or if you're just not comfortable cutting 2 layers at once, by all means, just cut one at a time. But each of these 12-inch by 6-inch pieces, I'm cutting at 4-inch increments. So when I'm finished, I'll have 6 pieces of Designer Series paper that measure 4 inches by 6 inch. Then I'll take each of those, and I want to cut these down to 4 inches by 5 1/4, so they'll fit nicely as a layer on the card front. So I'm actually cutting off 3/4 of an inch on the opposite end. And I'm going to do that for all of these. Cutting at 5 1/4 inch, which takes off 3/4 of an inch along the bottom. Okay, once I have that completed, I'm ready to start putting my cards together. You're going to be amazed at how quickly and easily I make 6 cards. So I've already prepared my 6 card bases. I used 8.5 by 5.5 inch black cardstock, scored it 4 1/4 down the middle, and folded in half. I also put in on the inside a piece of white cardstock, 4 inches by 5 1/4, so that you have a nice place to write a note, or if you want to put a stamped sentiment or image on the inside, you would obviously need a light or neutral color cardstock. And if you are planning to stamp something on the inside, do stamp it before you adhere that to the inside of your card. So I'm just going to take my 5 1/4 by 4 inch piece and adhere it to my card front. Makes the perfect size layer for a card front. Then I'm going to take that 3/4 inch strip, simply flip it over and adhere it near the bottom. Or you can play with where you want to adhere things. Don't feel you always have to adhere those sentiments in the same place on your cards. Again, I'm going to flip over that 3/4 inch strip and adhere it to the DSP layer. Oops, I almost put my adhesive on the wrong side there. It's a good thing I double checked. Took an extra few seconds to think about what I was doing. Okay. When I'm making sets of cards, I prefer to do things the same step each of the times that I need it. So in other words, I did all my card bases, then I did all my cutting, then I'm adhering all of my card fronts. Now, on these last three, I'm going to put my strip near the top just so you can see a little bit of a variation. Another thing to think about is, depending on what you are putting on the front, I'm just simply going to stamp a sentiment and punch it out for the front. If you are doing more than that, or you didn't want that strip on the front, you could use that strip either side to decorate the top or bottom on the inside of your card. So just keep in mind that there are variations, and I'm sure you can come up with some variations of your own. This paper is gorgeous. The flowers are melon mambo, fresh freesia, and blueberry bushel. And I believe it's garden green for the leaves. Okay, and just like that, I have my 6 card bases ready. Now to stamp and punch the sentiment. Since this is a photopolymer stamp, I'm bringing in my Stampin' Pierce mat. This just helps me get a better stamped image or sentiment when it has that something cushiony underneath. And I'm stamping with black Memento ink on Melon Mambo cardstock. And this sentiment is with deepest sympathy. It comes from the Peace on Earth stamp set, which is one of my new favorite stamp sets. And I'm going to do it this way just because I did not check my spacing with that punch, and I'm going to need one more. So I'm using the Labeled with Love punch, and when we punch a sentiment or an image, we want to work from the back side of the punch. First of all, I find it a little easier to hold, but we can make sure that our sentiment or the stamped image is centered or placed just inside the punched area where we want it. We don't always want it centered. Most often we do, but sometimes I might move mine to the top or bottom or more to the left or right. But working from the back side of your punch helps you, oops, it's a little heavy, helps you get that punched or the stamped bit exactly where you want it. So I need a sympathy card, and it's hard for me to make a sympathy card when I need it for some reason. I think my mind just gets to wandering, that sort of thing. So oftentimes I will do something like this. Instead of making just one sympathy card, I'll make a set of 6 or 4 or 8, whatever it may be, depending on the layout that I'm using. And that way I have some cards to put in my stash for next time. And quite honestly, it is just as easy to make 2 cards as it is to make 1. And oftentimes, when you have a simple layout like this, it's just as easy to make 6 at once. So I'm going to add the sentiments now with dimensionals. Does everybody know also that our punches lock shut, making it easy for storage? It also has the, and depending if you're stacking them like this or you have them on a shelf, whatever way you have them, you can see the shape that it will punch. I like anything that saves me space in the craft room. And those punches, being able to lock closed, really does save on space. This strip doesn't look quite straight, but I'm trying to decide if it's not straight or if it's an optical illusion because of the lined pattern on the DSP. Get that centered from left to right and centered across my strip. You might choose to do something different depending on your greeting or sentiment. If you have non-directional paper, this would also be great for making horizontal cards. This card layout and the cutting of the designer series paper is a great project for beginners or less experienced card makers and stampers. Stamping is simply the sentiment. So all parts of these cards are easy. So perfect for beginners, people have never made cards before, and perfect for those of us who are experienced but perhaps just need some quick and easy cards. These are also good for people who perhaps have a limited budget because it doesn't use a whole lot of different products. Okay, I want to finish these off with some embellishing. So I'm going to add some of these neutral matte dots. So just a simple embellishment. I'm placing these with my Take Your Pick tool, one of my favorite tools. Okay, and there are lots of different ways you can add embellishments, but for this demonstration, I'm going to stick to this because this demonstration is meant to be for quick and easy stamping or something that would appeal to beginning card makers and beginning stampers. This truly is a craft that I believe everybody can do, no matter your experience level in crafting. All you have to have is the desire, and it's super easy to get started. And that's what you've got me for, to be your creative coach and your helper. So there are my 6 quick and easy cards featuring the Lovely Garden Designer Series paper. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration. If you did, please subscribe to, like this video, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope you come back for lots more inspiration and projects. Happy stamping!